building a team, I think, in any business is going to be important. Whether you're in banking, whether you're doing whatever it is. I don't
Life
know.
in general.
Life in general. You have to have a team. People, we have to do life together. We can't do it by ourselves.
Hey out there, thank you so much for joining us this week on Business Gold, a business leader's journey. This week on the podcast, we have Charlie Thompson. Charlie is an extremely active member in the community and owns and operates several different types of businesses. The ones he talks about today are just incredible. Let's turn it over to Jen to hear more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Business Gold, a business leader's journey. And today we are with Charlie Thompson. We're going to talk finance. We're going to talk homes. We're going to talk Airbnbs. We're going to talk about a lot of really cool stuff. I'm super excited to have him on the show. Can't wait for you guys to hear what he has to say. So welcome, Charlie, to the show.
What's up?
Not much. So glad you decided to come with us and be on this journey. A little tidbit for everybody. We've known each other for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
I met you. You were the lender for the Hive at Lavender Estate. So you were like the very first person that I contacted when I said, I love this piece of property and I have to have it. And you walked me through every step of it. I lived in a different state. Mm-hmm. We talked on the phone forever and ever, and then finally that day I signed, I got to meet you. So
awesome experience.
It was kind of like the beginning of my journey. You were part of it, so I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. You've turned it into a beautiful place.
Thank you so much. We really enjoy it, and we love that people come in and it makes them happy to be here. So thank you for your help. So you have left the place that you were at when I first met you. Mm-hmm. You've gone somewhere else.
Yep.
Your experience is just building and building and building.
Correct.
So you are pretty much a big top dog at the place you're at now. So we know that you have a ton of information to share with us. But small business, you're a busy man.
Yes.
Tell us about your small business that you've started.
All right. My small business, I just do short-term rentals in here in Sumter. Uh-huh. We host people from all over the world, actually, that come right here to Sumter, South Carolina.
That's amazing.
And they stay in a house that we have put on Airbnb.
Right.
On the website, Airbnb, to host it. They stay there just similar to like they would stay at a hotel. Mm-hmm. But they just have a whole lot more there than they do in a hotel room. And
absolutely.
So it's been very fun. It's been interesting going through the whole COVID pandemic with Airbnb and short-term rentals. But it's been a lot of fun.
How did you kind of overcome that whole COVID thing with your business?
Oh, man. So tell you a story. Mm-hmm. 2019, me and my friend Daniel Lyles, he owns Tree Works here in town. Very cool guy.
Yeah.
We were sitting there eating lunch one day. He's like, hey, we got this house somebody wants to sell, and it's set up for Airbnb. I'm like, what's
Airbnb?
What's Airbnb? and so we decided to go in there. We bought it. Mm-hmm. It was turnkey, so I really didn't have to do too much up front to the house. So that's November of 2019. January 2020, COVID hits, and we get a letter from the governor, all hotels, short-term rental, all this stuff, you can't have people
closed down,
staying there. And so it worked, though, because people got stuck
right
in Sumter because they could
not leave.
And so we were able to help some folks, stay in there, have a place to stay when they couldn't get anywhere else to stay. And that was just one house. Right. It's a little 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, 900 square feet. Yeah, just enough for like 2 or 3 people to stay.
Right.
And they could control their environment. They didn't have a bunch of people coming around them.
Right.
And they were just in this house. And they happened to be from Shaw in the military, so we were able to help a military family out.
I love that.
And then just provide a service. And it's just kind of grown from there.
Mm-hmm. Right. How many houses do you have now, or apartments, or what do you have?
Well, we've got 5 listed right now. Mm-hmm. Some are in a triplex, but most are single family homes where you don't have any neighbors or things like that to really contend with. So.
Well, I can tell our listeners, I have several times used you for my family. Like I have family that's in Maryland. They come in. I have personally used those townhouses, and they are spectacular. Like you walk into them and you feel like you're at home. It is amazing. And it's not, the one has a huge picture of this beautiful cow, and it's like, I'm at home. I
cow
love this. I love the cow picture. It's the little details that you've put into these places that really make you feel like you're at home and not just throwing a suitcase out on a bed in a hotel.
Definitely.
It's definitely a different experience. And I think if more and more people start doing that, they'll see the quality of being able to do something like that versus a hotel.
Definitely. And it costs less.
Yes. And it's, and you feel like nobody's going to impose on what you are doing, whether it's vacation or business or whatever. It's a safer feel, I think.
Yeah.
So that is definitely awesome. So the two of you got the one. Finished telling me the journey.
We got the one, and so we started going through COVID, and people kept on coming in. Had some people that had some more bookings that would come in.
Right.
So it went really well. And so found another one.
And the bug hit.
The bug hit. I was like, there's something to this. And so I just started studying it a little bit, reading about it, watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it and how to do it the right way. And so you weren't, providing a bad service to someone, and you're getting bad reviews and things like that. So bought another one. We tricked it out. It was a triplex, so it had 3 units in it, and had some renters and 2 sides, and then the other one we, flipped it. Airbnb, here we go. Instantly, just boom. It's like, all right,
hotcake.
This is awesome. This is awesome. And so did that. Kind of slowed down with how things were going during COVID, and ended up getting 3 more actually. Sorry, and just kind of rinse and repeat. And once they would get booked, and they would book out 2 or 3 months at a time.
Right.
And we knew it was going to cash flow. We could make money. If we can make money, more money than we could with a normal rental. That's just kind of how I did it. And so during COVID, I ended up taking, me and Daniel, he was doing his other thing. He allowed me to buy out a piece of that one. So I was just on my own doing it.
Okay.
And so I had to learn how to build a team, and it was just me.
But you're good at that.
Going at it.
With your finance background, that whole team thing, you talk to us about that.
Oh, teams. So the crazy thing about Airbnb is it is not passive income like a lot of people think it is. It's not buying a rental house and y'all go live in it. You've got the power in your name. You got the water in your name. You got cable and internet in your name. And if anything goes wrong, it's your fault. If it's not clean, it's your fault. You're gonna get nailed on reviews. And so I had to figure out a way to automate the entire experience for people when they go and check in till the time they check out.
Yes.
So building a team, I think in any business is going to be important, whether you're in banking, whether you're doing whatever it is. I don't know.
Life in general.
Life in general. You have to have a team. People, we have to do life together. We can't do it by ourselves. So what I did is figured out a way to automate the entry. So keyless entry, going in,
bam,
do it,
done.
Punch in a door code. We just send it to you. The hardest part is cleaning and fixing stuff. And so we were able to find someone to clean and share. You can share your Airbnb calendar with them, and they can see the schedule. And people are checking out at 10 or 11. They're in there at 11:15, getting it knocked out. We use them. We use Sumter Laundry and Cleaners big time. So if you guys don't,
shout out to them.
Big shout out to Sumter Laundry and Cleaners, because if you don't use them, you should, because they do a fluff and fold and sanitize everything professionally.
Oh, nice.
And so you can take all your towels and sheets and all that stuff, and they'll fold it.
Look, Charlie's like,
they'll fold it. I don't fold my own laundry. I don't, we don't do that. So they fold it, sanitize it, bag it, and keep it separated by house for me. And so it's just great.
Wow, that's amazing. And just the word, I'm just going to say the words fluff and fold. It just sounds so.
Fluff and fold.
I just want to lay my head down on that pillow.
Take your own laundry up there and try it out. They do a fabulous job. doing that. But, just automating that so you're not sitting there for 3 hours washing and drying linens.
Absolutely. And it does take that long.
You've got to have a quick turnaround. And then just the whole cleaning process. And, and then you think about bookkeeping. Like, how do you keep your books? How do you, do maintenance and repair? So you have to have somebody to do that. So, we use Air Solutions to do a lot of our heat and air stuff. We've used several other people as well to, go in and fix plumbing issues. So you just have to have this team in contacts built together that really just makes the process smooth.
Makes it flow a little better. Yeah. Okay, you started a little bit talking about bookkeeping.
Yes.
And being in the background that you are with banking. Talk to me about, what do you think is the most important part for a small business owner with their bookkeeping?
Know where your money's going. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to tell you where it's going to go. That's how it works. I mean, I hired a bookkeeper because it's just so much. Even for being in a banking background, it's so much to deal with. So I use Kathy Allen with Allen Associates. She does a great job. Does Excel sheet. I can send her my statements and boom,
done.
And
that's interesting to me, and that's a huge point that you're making. You're in banking, and you have someone else do your finances for you. So that in itself says how important it is that you have somebody else looking at those numbers.
So I want you to think about this. How much time would you spend doing laundry, fixing problems, doing your books, getting your insurance right? How much time does that take?
I mean, that's a lot of time.
And so for a business owner, your goal hopefully is to grow your business over time. And so, and business owners we want to hold on, and we want to have control, and we want.
It's hard to let go sometimes.
It's hard to let go, but you grow by letting go, and having a team you can trust to go and do those things that
you don't know how to do.
That you don't know how to do, or you're not good at, or you don't have time to do. You need to be focused on growing your business, not worried about where this $2 went in your books, or going and fixing a busted pipe at midnight. I mean, that's just
no fun.
No.
Yeah. So you're where you work. It is here in Sumter. You are a Sumterite. Am I saying that?
I am a Sumterite.
Is that
Sumter
what
native.
They say? Sumter native.
You just call me a native.
So you're a busy man, I can tell. But what do you do when you're absolutely wore out and tired and you need some downtime? What does Charlie do for downtime? Because I know you have a beautiful family. I've seen them, and I believe you have another little bundle on the way. That's right.
In a month now, 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You just try to block it out and spend time with your family, and people try to have a work-life balance, and there's no such thing. So you can try, but when it's time to be a family, you're a family. When it's time to work, you're working. And just do your best in every single situation, and that's kind of how I.
Yeah. What does your best look like?
What does my best?
Your best look like? You're saying I need it to be the best. What's your best? What do you do?
My best is probably just doing the absolute best I can at the bank for my customers, and then giving 115% at home with the wife and kids.
See? That's great.
That's what
Shout
you got to do.
Shout out to your wife. That was
great. I know
great.
she puts up with me. She's busier than I am.
I'm sure with all the children in the home and working and. But what a blessing that you have that family.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Yes. And I mean, the legacy that's going to be left for them, because this is something that's going to last for years.
Right.
I mean, are you thinking that far down the road?
Oh, I've already.
Or what's your plan?
So
Can we have a sneak peek of your plan?
so the whole reason I started doing the real estate stuff is because, a lot of people will tell you to save money and put it back, which is good. You need to do that. You need to have emergency funds. You need to save for college. But I just got the idea from reading that, I could really pay for college a whole lot faster if I bought a house for my kid instead of buying, putting it in the market.
Right.
And so we got the first house I ever bought was my grandparents' house. My granddaddy moved next door to my parents, and we bought their old house in 2015.
Oh, that's cool.
As an investment property. got it for, not a very high price at all. And we're able to rent it, and it's paid for. My oldest is 10. So it's just, you just save that money every month.
Money sitting
and
right
then
there.
if he needs to go to college, if he wants to, whatever he wants to do, there it is. It's right there. You can sell it.
That's a great idea.
You can finance it. You can just give him the rent money when he goes to college. Whatever you want to do.
Right.
That's just one of the things I did for him. So, and I did the same thing for my second son.
Yeah,
my 8-year-old.
So I hear 2 sons. Is the next one a daughter?
Boy.
Another boy. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
3 Charlies. Bless your wife's heart.
So I got to buy another house now.
All right, you better start looking.
Yep.
I hear the market's crazy right now.
It is crazy.
But I love that. Okay, so you hit on something that I've been hearing talk in different industries of, if my son decides to go to college or he needs to go to college. How do you feel about this whole trade school thing that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger right now with people?
I think trade school is awesome as long as it's what your child wants to do.
Right.
The Lord just has to lead them in the direction
wherever
that
they
want to go. Looking at it right now, folks that own their own business, that know a trade, they're always going to have a job.
That's right.
Just knowing how to work with their hands. It's hard to find electricians. It's hard to find plumbers. And then when you find those type of folks, they're so busy.
We need more of that hands-on work.
And so we've for a long time we've just said, all right, everybody's going to college, which is great. Everybody does need to do things like that. But if you need an electrician, you need this stuff.
We need those people.
But they don't teach you how to make money in college unless you're in a business program sometimes.
Right.
And so, the kids need to learn personal finance. They need to learn money.
I know a 20-some-year-old that didn't know how to write a check.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, how did that happen in life?
Yeah.
But life is so different now. It's a swipe of a card.
It really is.
And people, I feel like checks are fossils.
Oh, yeah, they are. I still write checks myself just so I have a paper trail. I'm old school.
Now you just called us fossils, okay? Because I use them too.
I am a fossil. I like the paper trail.
I don't think you're a fossil, but so tell me, what are the trends with banking now? What is it going all electronic? Is it going to happen?
So banking, in particular, the bank that I work at, it's high tech, but it's also high touch, because you still have the people who want a personal relationship with a banker or someone at a bank, but you also have to be easy to do business with. And so in banking in particular, you can do everything from your phone. And so
the whole click of a check thing is amazing to me.
Yeah. So you have to be able to do that for people. But then at the same time, if something goes wrong, they need a face. And if you lose the personal touch and personal relationship, it's never gonna. It's over.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you just who do you talk to? Somebody on a telemarketer line,
And people don't like that.
And some people don't like that, or you can't understand what's going on, and so you just want that face-to-face interaction. I don't think the need for relationship banking is ever going to go away. It's going to continue to kind of go by the wayside a little bit, but there's always going to be this group of people that always wants a face-to-face interaction. So,
and you're the man. Yep, you're the man.
I am the man. Try to do it. Try to do the best I can.
We're going to take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
The Hive at Lavender Estate, the sweetest place to be in Sumter, South Carolina, just off of North Main. Contact us at lavenderfieldestate@gmail.com or find us at lavenderfieldestate.com.
Greybird Media is your one-stop shop for videography, DJ services, and photo booth. Let us be a part of your next event. Find us on the web at Greybird, that's gray with an E, greybirdmedia.com.
Thanks to our sponsors, The Hive at Lavender Estate and Greybird Media. And now, back to our show. Do you see with your Airbnbs that there's like trends of when it's full and when it's not? Like, what is Sumter's tourist look, what does that look like for Sumter?
Let's see. I look at it, they do it like similar to a hotel, like an occupancy rate. And my occupancy rate since we've started in 2019 has been 92%, 93%.
Wow. That's amazing. People don't realize how many people come to Sumter.
All of them.
I mean, we have the Air Force Base. People come to visit their families. People don't understand that when the new people come to Shaw, they have like 10 days to find a place to live. And I'm sure they're probably using your place to stay in until they can find somewhere to go. Buy that house or...
Definitely.
And I would say that maybe that's a crossover for you where you could get some business for selling some houses. I just thought of that. Look at you.
There you go.
It's a win-win for you.
It's a win-win. I wish I could sell some, but I have enough irons in the fire. But you see people from Shaw. We see people coming just to visit, that coming to the Iris Festival, or they might be playing in the tennis league or playing in a baseball tournament or whatever. I've had people in construction that are coming here to work.
Oh, that's a great one.
You have travel doctors, travel nurses. So
that's a whole different spectrum of
like
people.
It's all kinds of people. That's how I say it. Just different folks from everywhere. We've had people from Europe come and stay in Sumter.
That's great.
It's really cool.
Little tiny Sumter, South
Carolina.
That is growing phenomenally.
It
like
is.
Downtown, it's so beautiful down there. And there's lots more things down there. Like you said, the Iris Festival, October 1st, they're having a big fest down there. So I hope everybody, remembers that there's lots to do in little tiny Sumter.
And so one of the things you can do on Airbnb is it has a guidebook.
Okay.
And you can create a guidebook for people when they come to town. It's not like, when you go stay at the beach and you rented the beach house for a week, they've got this notebook just sitting. It's all on the app,
right
Airbnb
there.
app. And so, I put all the local businesses on there, places to eat, places to shop.
That's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to need you to put where to get married. That needs to be put on that, okay?
Definitely. I think you actually might be on there.
Oh my gosh, Charlie, that's amazing.
I'm trying to remember. I hadn't updated it in about 5 or 6 months. I'll have to look at it, but all the local businesses that that they can benefit from while they're here, I share that on there to kind of. It just makes Sumter a better place, and
it does. And there are so many small businesses that need that extra advertisement out there.
Oh yeah.
Do you do any advertising like around and say like at Shaw? Does anybody know that you have this stuff available? I mean, how are you doing marketing?
Marketing is really Airbnb only. It has a search engine optimization built in the app, and so when you do a listing, you can become a super host, right? So I've got the super host status, and so you have to have 5-star reviews.
Okay.
And so when you get those 5-star reviews, you provide a good experience, it bumps you up higher. So when people look for Sumter, South Carolina on Airbnb, there it is.
All right.
So
everybody remember to go do 5 stars because it helps build your business.
Right. If you stay, do 5 stars, and then I can rate folks that stay with me, give them 5 stars, and it rates them as a guest. And so that's really the only mark. I've put them out there a little bit on Facebook, but
it sounds like it markets itself.
It markets itself just because Airbnb is just one of the largest short-term rental guys in the industry. In the industry,
right.
Yeah.
That is really awesome. I'm thinking back to like when I first met you and what you do, and like I know that you don't actually do the loans anymore, but you are actually over those people that do the loans. You told me what's your title? Market.
So I'm a market leader. And so what I do, so I go out and I find business for the bank is what I do. So just if someone needs to finance a building, or I go and I talk to them, and then I don't underwrite all the loans myself anymore. It goes to an underwriter. You lead them through the
process?
I lead them through the process. It goes to an underwriter, and then it comes back, and we, it's a team approach to doing that instead of just, making a decision at a desk. But
so it kind of sounds like you're the face that you were just talking about earlier. Yes, you're that face-to-face touch in the banking.
Exactly, that's what I do.
Okay, so all our small business owners that are out there listening, Charlie's the one to go see if you need that new building, that new piece of equipment, that new whatever. Correct? Am I saying it the right way?
I'm at Synovus Bank on Wilson Hall Road.
There you go.
That's where I'm at.
I was going to let him say it. I wasn't going to say it.
You can say it.
So go there, see Charlie, let him hook you up. Let's go back to the Airbnbs again, because I'm like really intrigued how you can keep them busy during slow times. Because I know there's slow times too. Like, how do you keep, like, what do you do? Because you have to make house payments. I mean, is there that much of an overflow of income for you sitting there to be able to make those payments when it gets slow time? I mean, is that I don't want to say lucrative, but talk to us about what that finance piece looks like. Is it scary sometimes? Is it?
Well, you don't have control over it. So what you do is you always have to have cash coming in to a business. You know, you're not going to have a business open anywhere that's not making money.
Right.
And so how it works is during peak times, you know, what's called 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving,
holidays,
the nightly price, just like a hotel, it would be higher.
Oh, okay.
Right. During the slow times, it has a smart pricing tool built in the Airbnb app that lowers.
Again, built in.
It's built in. Okay. So automate everything so it's not stressful for me.
Okay.
And it will lower the price based on what is going on in the market.
Okay.
So basically, what it will do, it'll look at what what other Airbnbs in the area are priced at. Okay. It'll look at, you know, all different kinds of things and adjust the price for you, so you don't have to constantly go in and go up and down and adjust the price.
That's amazing to me.
It is. It's a lot. It's pretty high tech how they do it, and I'm just thankful because I'm not high tech, so I don't have to do all that. So
right. Interesting.
And so during the slow times, you know, you might be renting your place for $110 a night during the 4th of July, but during, you know, like right now, there's not much going on right now, so it might drop it down to $70 a night, and you'll get more traction because it's a more palatable price.
Right.
You can also go in there and run specials. So if somebody wants to, if you're struggling to get some bookings, you say, hey, 10% off during this month, period. You can actually go and put those in there and adjust pricing during the days like that too.
I'm amazed by this program. That's great.
It's wild.
So get on the computer and run your business from that one location.
Right. And so, but you have to understand with Airbnb, every market is different. So Sumter's not a metro market like Atlanta.
Right.
Or like if you went up to Asheville or you went to Charleston, it's not, it's completely different type of market than those. So it's not as expensive to stay in Sumter. If you're going to try to do an Airbnb, you can't expect to charge
the huge amount of price
that you might see in Charleston or Asheville or Atlanta or
one of those
anywhere else.
Big places.
Yeah, one of those big places, and expect to get it here.
Right.
And so you have to really manage, like, okay, it costs me this much to to keep this thing going, and then how much am I going to project to get each month, and is that going to work?
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it.
Sounds like there's a lot. Does your wife help you with the Airbnbs, or is that kind of your thing?
That's just one of my. I just built a team so she didn't have to.
Yeah.
And it all kind of came out of just having another source of another income stream. Really, another source of income, because once upon a time she, lost her job at a hospital and had to find another job, and you're just sitting there like,
what do we do?
Oh man! And you think about your average person working a W-2 job, that's their only source of income. You're like, if I lose this,
what happens to my family?
What happens to my family? And so that happened in 2015 when we bought the first house.
So it kind of all worked together.
Yeah, it all worked together. I was like, oh man, we probably should
keep this moving.
We probably should keep this moving and figure out a way to replace at least one of our incomes with something.
Just in case.
Just in case. And so definitely. So that's why I did it. to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. What else do you do? Free time, Sumter, your favorite place to go?
Favorite place to go? I go everywhere. I just go.
You do. I see you everywhere.
I go everywhere.
I run into you a lot.
I love to hang out with folks. I like to.
You're a people
a
person.
lot of, take a lot of my customers at the bank. We'll go and do things. I do go and work out at workout anytime a little bit. Going to work out at CrossFit Sumter a little bit, and just kind of building relationships with people. I just like to go out and hang out.
That's nice. So, I like that. And the exercise part of that releases that whole tension of being in a bank setting all day.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I know my old job, that was my me time. Was
Go
okay,
exercise.
it's like a scream for you, a release of
You
energy.
Sometimes I'll go at lunch, and sometimes I'll go at 5:30 after work.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of day it was, huh?
Exactly.
And look out if it's at 5:30 after work.
Exactly. It's ready to roll.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Is right now the time to buy? Is right now the time to come get a loan from you?
Rate, I think you have to base it on interest rates.
Yeah.
And then what you want to do. You look once upon a time in history when like Jimmy Carter was president, the rates were like 16%, 17% to buy a house.
Woo-hoo.
So I talked to a gentleman this morning at breakfast. He's like, man, it was 16%. I didn't worry about what the rate was. I just worried about what the payment was. And
wow.
And so now we're kind of back to a pre-COVID rates. So the prime's 5.5%.
I know that scares me.
Yeah. That's a normal rate.
But you forget that it used to be that because we got so used to the smaller rate.
You could get a home loan at like 2.75.
I know,
so
I
low.
know. And here I am wanting to build a house, and I'm that interest rate is causing me to scream.
And then the material prices are high. So everything you do kind of hinges on these things, and then they're expected to raise rates again another 75 basis points, and
that's coming soon.
That's coming next week. That's what they're
projecting. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Where do you think it's going to top out at?
Who knows?
You don't think? You don't think?
I'm not
it's
qualified.
That bad, huh?
I am not qualified to make that.
But like you said, it's been much higher before. It's just that we don't remember it being like that,
and we don't want it to be or need it to be.
Yeah, exactly. Do you? And like I know because you talk to people in the industry, but are you hearing anything about like construction prices going down, wood prices, or any of that, or is that going to go up too?
It's all fluctuating based on supply and demand.
Yeah,
that's how all that works, and so your guess would be as good as mine.
Yeah,
it just it just depends.
COVID has just torn everything upside down,
but
thankfully, business leaders who hung in there, they've learned from those issues and become stronger, I think, really, from dealing with all those issues. Like you said, we talked about you and what you kind of did with COVID. Like kind of what I did with COVID was I used it to my advantage.
Right.
So there was a lot of businesses out there that it did take the advantage of it. The city was shut down. The county was not. I'm in the county. So it kind of worked for me. So you kind of had to take COVID for what it was at the time.
And you have to plan. You have to have a plan.
You have to plan. You have to hit it out of the park somehow. And speaking of hitting out of the park, don't your boys play baseball and you go watch them play?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. I was thinking I was expecting you to say that was one of your fun things to do.
And now it's soccer time.
Okay.
So watching my kid, my 8-year-old play soccer.
Yeah.
So he's having fun with that right now.
And you can learn so much from watching little ones play sports. My smallest grandson, he's 4 years old. He plays football.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a bobblehead. That helmet's as big as he is. But watching those little people learn the fundamentals of something, it's inspiring.
Right.
Really, it is.
And if you have a kid that wants to show up early and work hard, and then they're willing to like stay late and practice extra, you're not gonna have to worry about them the rest of their life. I don't think in the world.
They're going to be the leaders.
They're going to be the leaders.
Upcoming leaders.
So sports is important. I think it shouldn't be your center focus, but it teaches a lot of valuable soft skills and lessons that people need to know just to work at a bank. things like that. So definitely.
You definitely get a kid that has better people skills if they've played sports of any kind. Or any major activity in school. It doesn't have to be sports. It could be, band, music, something they enjoy. Don't push them into it. No. Let it be whatever they, we've had other guests that were artists. If they're artsy, then give them the camera. If they love music, I know, just buy yourself a pair of earplugs. Give them the drum set.
Right.
Or a guitar, which I think you play.
Yep, I do.
I mean, why did you not bring your guitar with you?
You didn't ask me.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't know, to be fair. You didn't know. Yeah, but I do that.
One of your buddies, tweeted that in my ear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, it must be the drummer.
I think it was. It was the drummer. It was our producer, Gray, from Greybird Media. He let the cat out of the bag.
I've known Gray a long time.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
good guy.
That's what I hear.
So next time I'm going to expect you to have your guitar with you, okay?
I'll do it. And
this is recorded, so you can't get out of it.
Right. That'll be rough.
It's not going to be rough. You're going to be fine. Do any of your kids play? Are they?
So they both do some piano and things like that. They're trying to learn. That's what I wish I would have stuck with when I was a kid.
I wanted to do the piano, and my mama said no.
Yeah.
She made me do the trombone anyway. And I was like, this thing's huge. I'm little.
What am I supposed to do with this thing? Yeah, they're doing piano, and they do golf. Golf is
a very good sport to learn.
Trying baseball. So we're just letting them try whatever they want to try. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. And if they do, they do.
Move on.
And we move on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was a football player from the time he was itty bitty until he played semi-pro. So that was our thing. I can remember for years being on the football field.
Yeah, we get a lot of people staying at these Airbnbs that have kids that are playing
softball leagues,
baseball leagues, all kind of stuff like that.
Grandparents coming to see their kids. I mean, I drive 5 hours to go see my grandbabies come in. I have to have somewhere to stay. Airbnb. There you go.
Right. You have to do it. Hopefully in the future I can get some more of these things. I really like them in the small town.
Yes.
Yeah. I would really like.
You get the hometown feel.
So, and I'd really like to put some in places too that don't have it yet, or they might have one or two. But you're in Manning. Might be in Bishopville. You might somewhere small where you can have that hometown feel. And,
right. So you've got expansion on the mind.
I've got it on the mind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Soon.
We'll see. We'll see. I need some more money.
You need some more cash flow. I get it.
Yeah.
And you said your wife's very supportive.
Oh, yeah.
She works outside the home too? So.
Yeah. Yep. She works for MUSC over in Florence. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
She got a little bit of a drive. We live in Alcaloo, South Carolina. Okay. So I drive here, she drives there, and then we meet back in the middle. Meet in the middle at home at night. So that's great with the babies. Awesome. Well, I guess we're going to end our podcast.
Sure.
We are going to say thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it.
I've enjoyed talking with you. I learned a lot about Airbnb. I mean, I've used it, but now I kind of know all the back tricks of it. And that sounds like an amazing business.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a good business for our community, which I
definitely
love.
And the whole goal is to make Sumter a better place.
Absolutely.
Keep the houses up that are there, and then provide a good service when people come here, so they want to come back.
That's right.
Spend their money here,
I know, because you need that cash flow for another house.
Yeah, and all our small businesses need it too.
Absolutely.
Restaurants and stores and whatnot, they really need, those tourist dollars and support. So
they do.
Definitely.
Charlie, it's been a pleasure.
I've enjoyed it.
I've always liked you from the moment I met you because you helped me obviously so much. So I appreciate that you came and spent your time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, that is the end to another episode of Business Gold, the Business Leader's Journey. We thank you for being with us. We thank Charlie for being here, and we will see you next time.
That's it for this episode of Business Gold. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you tune in again. We release new episodes every Tuesday, so definitely come back. And while you're here watching on YouTube, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and reach out to us at podcast.businessgold@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.